Hello, this is Dr. Steve Fortenberry at Dental Care at Memorial Hermann Southwest. Today I thought I'd do a video on something a bit different. Some of my friends are renting horses this weekend possibly, and so I thought I might say a bit about that. For one, when you're renting a horse, one of the big things you need to look at is which one you pick out. You don't want to get one that's throwing its head around and stomping its feet, called Dancer. You don't want one that's kind of droopy. So don't get droopy, but a good one to get would be one that's alert but calm. So look for an alert, calm horse. Don't worry about the color. Color is something important if you're picking out a car, not when you're picking out a horse. Get the correct horse. If you have to bridle and saddle your own horses, to put on a bridle, always put the bit, if it has a bit, into the mouth first. Then if there's a string or curb chain that goes underneath the chin, put that on. Then lift it up over the head, but be careful about the ears. Horses are often very funny about their ears being touched. If you need to saddle your horse, I'd always stand on the left side, and typically I'll take the stirrups and girths or whatever's hanging off the right side and flip it over the seat. That way when you throw the saddle over, all those things don't get caught underneath the saddle. So throw the saddle on top of the blanket, pull it as far forward as you can. Now on the main girth, that would be the next thing you tighten. So when you tighten the main girth, you want to make sure you pull it back. You don't want it up against the four legs. So there's a bit of a dissonance there in that you're pulling the saddle forward, but you want the girth back a little bit. So you'll be having to pull the main girth back a bit if you have everything else in the right place. Then you strap that up, pull it tight, not so tight the horse can't breathe, but tight enough the saddle won't slide side to side even after it starts to get a little bit sweaty. If there's a breast strap, you'll put that on next, and flank girth, put that on. With the flank girth, if there happens to be one, you don't want that so tight that it rubs against the horse, but you do want it so loose that they could possibly get their foot between the belly and the girth, or that it could go back into their flanks and rub them in the flanks. Next, you get on the horse, and one of the most important things is knowing how to stop the thing. You wouldn't drive a car without brakes, so you certainly don't stop a horse by yelling, whoa. So, and just pulling up on the reins doesn't stop a horse. So what we have to do is you do nice steady jerks of the reins backwards. If your horse is stopped, the same motion will cause the horse to back up. But to stop, you need to pull up and then stop. Also, if you're loping your horse, I like to always stop the horse completely before starting to walk again. Almost all horses will have at least 3 gaits. Some have more, but the 3 gaits are walking, and then trotting, and then loping. I don't think I've ever heard a rancher or cowboy say the word gallop, but I think that's what the written word that people may think of. I've always heard the word is lope. So whenever your horse is loping, if you'll make sure that you get it to come to a complete stop, that'll prevent your insides from being jolted by trotting, which isn't real comfortable for most people. Okay, you're in the saddle, you know how to stop. You want to kick the horse to make it go if you need to, but you don't always need to. Many horses are what we call loose reins. You just give them a little bit of rein, and they'll go forward. Then you pull up to stop them. Some horses are loose rein, some are tight rein. They all have their own personalities. Some need to be plow reined. Plow reins is when you take your reins, one in each hand, and move them to the side. If you need to go to one side, you pull to that side. You need to go to the other side, you pull to that side. That's not needed on a well-trained horse, but often you need it. Also, you can kick the side on the shoulder that you want to go the other direction. For instance, if you want to go to the right, you kick the left shoulder with your heel, move it forward. After you get on the saddle, you want to make sure that you put your feet in the stirrups. And when your feet in the stirrups, it's good just to have your toes in there. If the horse gets out of control or something, you don't want your feet to get hung in the stirrups. You want to be able to dismount if necessary. So you're in the stirrups and you're going along, and the horse is loping, and that can be a little bit hard on folks too. So what you do when the horse is loping in particular, and you can even do it when they're walking, is you kind of stand on your feet and bring your seat off of the saddle, lean back in the saddle a bit, and that makes everything a little bit more comfortable for you. You do need to be careful about your weight, particularly horses that have been trained for roping will stop when you lean forward. In fact, many horses will. So if you lean your weight forward, that horse can stop and you can go over the front of it. So make sure that you're a little bit careful about leaning your weight forward. Try to keep your weight back a bit. Thanks. Hope that helped.